So that light that I showed you guys yesterday, I hung it in, this is Theodore's stall. I hung the light so it's facing his stall, so now that solved that problem. One funny thing is with the Mustangs, when they first started transitioning to using a stall, they're very, very messy. Every single one of my Mustangs has been crazy messy. It's been really fun to see after quite a while. Jaeger went really neat, really fast. Hands down the cleanest of the horses. But it is, I was gonna say, it is really cool to see them all like after, you know, oftentimes months, they can become like, they can go from really messy to actually, you know, being clean, or at least not terrible. Like, anyway, so I did see a couple questions I wanted to answer, if I can remember them. But the first one was, the BLM. Did Raven have notes on her? And I meant to say this in yesterday's video, but no, the BLM, because it's different, they run differently than the Forest Service. They don't do notes at all. So I find that the BLM is much more, like, I don't know, it's bigger. The U.S. Forest Service really has kind of like a small town feel to it, if you will. Yeah, I think that they have a little bit more of a personal touch, perhaps, and they have a very, you know, the corral manager is very engaged, and they have a very dedicated volunteer who actually goes around and like takes photos of the horses, and so they put a real effort into these horses. They also, different than the BLM, this kind of goes to show perhaps their resources, but when I first got my Mustangs, within a month, they did like a virtual home check. So I had like a Zoom meeting with the corral manager, and I go and you show their shelters, you show your fencing, you show your horses, their food, their water, different angles of the horse, and then just like, you know, they ask if you have any concerns and whatnot. So that was really cool. I think that's really good that they do that. So yeah, it's just different. I feel like the BLM is so big, and it kind of feels like you can get lost in their system. For example, so Raven, I remember I did her titling paperwork, and I have not gotten her title yet. Actually, Saturday, I got a piece of mail from the BLM, and I'm like, oh my gosh, her title's here. And I open it, and it's like the title application form. I'm like, what? That's what I had already sent in. And so anyway, so I emailed and I called this morning, and I did actually get a follow-up right away. So I got a call back and something about their software being down. I feel like that happens a lot, but their software, and like she couldn't like access something or other. But anyway, so she's gonna check on that tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, I have not received hold on, I'll stand here so the light. Yeah, so she tomorrow is hopefully gonna follow up on that and let me know. So yeah, I haven't gotten her title or the incentive, which honestly would be really great right about now. And yeah, so it's been since like, it's December, oh my gosh. So it's been at least 4 months, that I've done this, but I hear that's not out of the ordinary. I know other people who have waited far longer than this, so that's the update on that. But I was all excited. I'm like, her title's in the mail, and no, it's not. Someone else asked what I edit with, and I edit with iMovie, which is free with, comes on, I have a MacBook, Apple products. It is really limited, I will say that. It's kind of funny because it's more limited. I used to edit so my first 2 years on YouTube, I shot and edited on my phone, which is so hard because I had like the smallest data thing for my phone. But I used Video Shop, which is an app on the phone. It's free. There's also an upgrade, which I can't remember how much it was, but I feel like it was pretty reasonable. But the functionalities on Video Shop, I feel like were better than iMovie, so I missed that. I have found little hacks. For example, the intro for Vlogmas, intro of this video, the first scene, it says, I say Vlogmas 2023, and there's like these like sparkly things. So that is a type of title in iMovie, and it comes on smooth, but the text is removed very abruptly, And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. So I added a transition of the page turn as the text is disappearing. So it kind of does like an eye trick. So it's a little bit of a hack, so to make it look smoother and make it look like kind of somewhat cool. But I've learned like little hacks for doing things like that kind of add an effect that's not actually there. So yeah. Anyway, this is the last stall. I gotta get hay, fill the water buckets, and then bring the horses in. Here you guys go. Raven's not a big food junkie. Like, she likes to just people watch, I guess. No one else is eating. Oh. There she goes. Another question was if my Mustangs are still available for adoption. And the answer is yes, they are. Technically, they're available for sale because they're titled, except for Raven, but she will be hopefully soon. To be honest, that's been an area of discouragement for me. I've been very dedicated to these horses and, you know, finding them good, safe homes and making sure that they go to the right fit. Like, I'm not just trying to offload them. I'm truly trying to, I'm responsible for their lives right now, so I take that very seriously. And, you know, selling a horse is hard when you're trying to really be thorough about screening the homes and making sure that they're in a good spot. So it's time consuming, it's exhausting. I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm burnt out on it, and I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but it's life. But summer, and that was supposed to be the time when they're in training that I would be, you know, actively searching for homes. Yeah, so I'm kind of like discouraged with it all, to be honest. This is not a great time to sell a horse because it's not a great time to buy a horse moving into winter like this. But yeah, like I said, I'm dedicated to this crew, even though I would love to start the gentling process again. Like, I'm very excited about that because I feel like I've learned so much in this journey. And you know, I'm not looking back at all of my horses. I look at my past videos and I'm like, ugh, I feel like I could do such a better job knowing what I know now with the experience that I have now. I feel like I could just do a much better job about it. And why are you so sweet? Why? Anyway, so I'm excited for that, but at the same time, it's not just getting them past the gentling process. It's making sure that they're set up in a permanent homes. So that's where they're at. And another thing is, like, to be honest, when you start working with Mustangs, I'm so sorry, this lighting is horrible, but anyway, when you start working with Mustangs, you change as a person, and you just become so much more aware of the animal and their emotional state. And I don't know, you just start seeing things that you didn't see before. And in the horse world, we're all on our own journeys of learning, right? And working with Mustangs, you become like hyper aware of just noticing like everything about the horse. And this is why, like, I know, like, I had done some videos on the Masterson method. Part of the reason I really love that is because it is like developing that awareness of the animal and their responses. And anyway, so you start seeing those things, and then you go to any like horse events, other places where there's horses, and you start seeing these miserable horses everywhere. And it's like, it's scary. It's really scary. And learning so much more about horses and just who they are as individuals, learning all that And then just seeing the outside world. It's a scary place, and it's like I want the best for my horses. And yeah, so I'm a kind of a helicopter mom, and you know, I'm just devoted to them. So, and I think, yeah, anyway, that's all. That's all I want to say on that matter. But yeah, you're so lovable. But they're wonderful animals. Anyway, they're all great horses. Like, they seriously are. They've all been my favorite at some point or another. And they're all just, yeah, really special and unique. And I wouldn't be disappointed with any of them. But yeah, so. All right, well, I'm going to head home now.